Welcome to Candy Recaps. Please follow us on this journey as we try to bring you the best of the best movie recaps on YouTube. Please make sure to subscribe to our channel. You can leave a like or a comment on any of the videos that you like, as this would mean so much to us. This is the full recap of the film Sputnik that was released back in August 2020. Let's dive in. The film begins in 1983, during the last hot period of the Cold War, when two Russian cosmonauts that are engaged in an orbital research mission experience something inexplicable while preparing themselves to return to Earth. In this scene, Konstantin co-pilot Avichenko sings one of his favorite songs called A Million Scarlet Roses to stay in a good psychological condition as he is about to return home. Just then, as they finish undocking from the station, something collides with their ship that makes it unstable. Later, when the ship is stabilized, Avichenko sees something moving outside their ship and alerts Konstantin. By the time Konstantin turns to see what it is, it has already advanced towards the door to the cockpit. Moments later, the spacecraft malfunctions on re-entry and crashes in Kazakhstan, where a herdsman riding a horse sees it from a distance. He goes forth to examine the crash landing, where he finds Avichenko with part of his head severely wounded. Just then, on the other end, the herdsman sees Konstantin struggle to stand. But something important, when he looks into Konstantin's eyes, they are all pitch black. Flash forward, we move to this scene where a young psychiatrist called Dr. Tatiana is under review for her controversial approaches when working with patients. One of the board members accuses her of almost drowning a 17-year-old boy. After the review, the young doctor is approached by Colonel Semiradov, who is in charge of an isolated military facility where the astronaut Konstantin was taken under quarantine after being rescued from the crash landing. Beats later, she is put on a chopper with the colonel and she's flown to the location of the military facility, where they cover the rest of the journey with cars. During this trip, she is not told the real reason as to why Konstantin is being quarantined, but the colonel admits that they lost radio contact with the crew before they landed and that it appears like there was an incident in space. Flash forward to the next scene, she goes in to speak with Konstantin in order to get a clear evaluation of his situation. While in there, the cosmonaut tells her that he was getting tired of Dr. Rigel's sessions, and that he is happy that they decided to bring in a woman. Konstantin tells her that, first they prepared for the space flight, then launched. When they were done with the assignment, he initiated the landing procedure, and after that, he can't remember anything. We jump to the next scene where the young doctor is summoned by the colonel to show her something that would be of interest for her research. This is where the doctor soon finds out that the cosmonaut brought back an extraterrestrial life form inside his own body without knowing it himself. The colonel asks the doctor if she wanted to see the creature up close. The doctor accepts the offer. Here, there's armored glass that stops the creature from ever breaking out. When she touches the glass, the creature sprouts and scares her. In this next scene, the doctor digs through a pile of research after asking the colonel for all the research they have made on Konstantin ever since the landing. Later, the doctor confronts Konstantin by telling him she knows he has a child whom he has abandoned at an orphanage, implying he is not a national hero but a coward who does not care about his son, with the purpose of stressing him. Thanks to this, she discovers that the creature is affected by hormone levels. Later, the doctor goes into Konstantin's containment room with hope to learn and study the behavioral patterns of the creature, but she is interrupted by Dr. Rigel from the control panel. Later, as she looks through the videos of the creature, she finds out that one of the videos she has been shown has been altered. She then asks Dr. Rigel to tell her what the creature eats, but Dr. Rigel lies by telling her that it feeds on whatever Konstantin eats. She refuses this claim and tells the doctor that the only reason he is lying is because he thinks he is going to win a Nobel Prize. Dr. Rigel is guilt-tripped by this and decides to show her something. He hides her in the back of the truck and takes her on one of the locations on the military base. Her trip there leads to her discovering a horrifying truth: the creature does not feed from whatever Konstantin eats, but rather eats humans that are alive. Later on, after she has developed a caring relationship with Konstantin, she takes him on a run around the facility, under the guise of exercising, where she informs him that he has a parasitic creature inside him and the plans of the military for him. They agree to evade surveillance and meet later on, when she shows him the bodies of the people the creature killed, and the still living astronaut who was in the spacecraft with Konstantin, who was not infected because he had cancer, which had gone undetected by the tests done before the mission, but which the creature must have been able to sense. It is revealed that Konstantin was well aware of his unwanted guest and of what the creature does when it is not attached to him. The doctor is shocked at this revelation, and Konstantin tells her that, in order to take care of his son, he will do anything in order to get out of this place. In a flashback, we see the young doctor as a child at the orphanage trying to reach for a box but in vain. The stool she stands on topples as she falls to the ground. This alerts the nurse at the orphanage, who sprints towards her. Meanwhile, the young doctor is disgusted and horrified by the fact that they feed the creature humans that are still alive. She goes to the colonel's office and confronts him, only to be told that the real reason they are here is to find a way to turn the alien into a weapon that they can control. She is later openly taken by the colonel to the creature's feeding session, where the colonel tells her, at least she won't be viewing from behind a truck. Just then, the creature shows up to feed on one of the prisoners in the cage. As the colonel watches, the young doctor runs into the cage to see if she can tame the creature from consuming the prisoner. The creature is brought to a pause when she starts to sing "A Million Scarlet Roses," a song Avchenko was singing before the crash landing. The creature recognizes the song, which confirms that it is directly connected to Konstantine's memories, hence it is being controlled by Konstantine himself. One of the prisoners tries to escape, but this alerts the creature, which attacks and kills him. Later, the doctor finally determines that she wants to help Konstantin. While examining a bedridden Avchenko, she tells Dr. Rigel about her plan, which is to escape. With an armed guard nearby, they talk to each other in Latin to disguise their agenda. Later, Dr. Rigel hands her a bag with a syringe that is drugs that can simulate Addison's disease, the same type of disease the other cosmonaut had. She says this would force the creature out. The young doctor tranquilizes a guard nearby and then heads over to get Konstantin. Meanwhile, a guard finds an unconscious guard lying down on the floor and alerts the colonel. Just then, Dr. Rigel locks himself in his office and makes a phone call to the higher review board, to which he confesses to what the colonel is doing here. Meanwhile, the colonel gets his gun and heads over to Dr. Rigel's office and kills him. As the doctor and Konstantin make their escape, they are ambushed by a response team that was sent by the colonel. The doctor is shot and injured in the scuffle. This forces Konstantin to ask her for the syringe. Upon injecting himself, the alien creature emerges and kills the entire response team. The doctor struggles to drag Konstantin to the getaway vehicle as the creature finishes off the team. The doctor helps Konstantin into the car, then she drives off. Before her car can be shot down, she rams the gate and speeds off. Meanwhile, the colonel comes to see that his entire response team has been battered to shreds. Just then, the creature attempts to jump him, but he injures it heavily with point-blank rounds. As the doctor and Konstantin run away, an injured colonel shoots more rounds at the creature. This causes Konstantin to spit blood as if being shot himself. The doctor realizes that Konstantin cannot survive without the alien creature, since they have become completely symbiotic. Beats later, the colonel catches up with them. His comrades carry the heavily injured creature with the hopes of forcing it back inside Konstantin. The doctor points her gun at the colonel with the aim of protecting herself. The colonel rubbishes away the weapon as the doctor surrenders. Just then, the colonel decides to hurt the doctor by inflicting pain in her bullet wounds. The colonel's actions trigger Konstantin into awakening the creature, which kills all the colonel's men and the colonel himself. This sets the doctor and Konstantin finally free. The creature later on comes and crawls back into Konstantin's body as the doctor hesitates to watch. A beat later, as the authorities descend on them, as alerted to the monstrous experimentations of the colonel, a revived Konstantin shoots himself in order to kill the creature, but ends up killing himself too. Sometime later, the doctor heads to the orphanage and adopts Konstantin's son, and it is revealed she herself lived in an orphanage as a young girl. The end. Thank you for watching. If you liked this recap, please give it a thumbs up or leave a comment in the comments section below. Please don't forget to subscribe, as we are uploading a new video right now. Like, literally, right now. You don't believe it? Well, check for yourself. Thank you.